So now let's go ahead and store the image in the database. So I have this PHP code, and the way the PHP code works is it does the storage in two parts. First, it stores the image data into the image data table, and then it gets the result ID for the row that was just inserted, and then it adds the metadata into the metadata table. So we're going to do the same thing here. Let's start with this part. And this is going to look like the same thing here. Let's go ahead and uncomment this for now. And we'll change the SQL query to that. So here, the value that we want to bind to this parameter is image.data. And that should store the data into image data. And if it works, we'll get this callback. But insert doesn't return the same values to the callback as a select does. This one just returns an error and a result object. So first, if we have an error, we'll call error listener, else we'll run another query, and here's a select statement, and this is also going to be an insert, so it'll return error and result. So that closes that call to connection.query, and then that closes the else statement, and that closes the function, and that closes the first query. So we don't need to add another connection.onError here, but we do need to check the result of error. Like so. So if we got all the way into here, that means that both queries were successful. So let's write the query for this part. So it's right there. And let's go ahead and break this line because it's getting a little long. And then we need to bind some parameters. So 4 parameters, and those are name, type, size, and the ID from the first query. So image.name, image.type, image.size. These are all in an array, by the way. And result.result ID. And this is a little long as well, so break those. And then the callback function. So if we get back here, we want to return an object that has an ID property, which is result.result ID. And that should be it other than the error handlers. So we'll come back to that. Let's see how we're doing so far. So this time I'm going to upload the actual image. I'll upload the warning JPEG. So if that worked, then I should have a new image in my database. So let's go to localhost/XAMPP, phpMyAdmin, images. And we'll start with the image data. So we have a little blob 2.5K. Could be that one. So let's look at the metadata. So that's ID 212. So let's sort by image ID in descending order. And we don't have 212 here. So we probably got an error. So did we get this callback? Let's see if we got the image callback. Yeah, so there's the image callback. So did we get to here? So let's see if we got that message or not. And I'll upload this one. So added image undefined. So it's actually insert ID. And we'll do that here too. Okay, so now we got image added 215. So let's reload. So we have image 215, but we don't have the metadata added. This should all be tabbed over. And then that closes that. And then like so. So I'm getting to the try, but it's not actually sending it. So let me add another console log here. So insert into metadata return, but I must be getting an error message, which I'm not returning to the server. So this worked. Let's see if we got an error. And let's also see if we got success. Okay, so we did get an error. Bad null error, column image ID cannot be null. So we seem to be passing null in there. Let's make sure we have the right order. Name, type, size, result ID. Name, type, size. Oh, I missed one. There we go. Okay. So upload and click here. So insert into metadata succeeded that time. So now let's take a look. Good, and we're starting to get metadata. So now we just have to return the right ID. So insert image callback. We're calling the callback with insert ID. And in the web server side, when we get our response, we want to write it back like JSON. So let me go ahead and copy this block right here. We'll refactor this code a little bit to clean it up. So there's our response. And now let's go ahead and try it. Reload. And we already have two progress layouts, so this should give us a third one. Upload, completed, and then close, and there's our third one. So let's try some of the demo images from before. So I'm going to go to Documents, and I stored these in demo images. So let's grab a bunch of them, drag and drop. it's got that doctor image. That causes an error. So go ahead and upload all files. Oh, got some errors. Cannot read property insert ID of undefined and image db.js line 36. So if we have an error, we don't want to write that message. Let's get rid of most of these. And reload. I'm not going to include the doctor this time. And we'll upload all these. And they're all completed. So I'll close the dialog. There's my new images. Great, looks like it worked. Okay, so now let's try the doctor image and see what we get. Upload. And error, couldn't fetch image list. So we got a reasonable response, but we need to fix the error message. So here's where we are getting this message. So let's try it now. Takes a long time. There we go. There, couldn't upload image. So let's try something that isn't an image. And we get the application only handles image uploads. And let's reload again. And let's upload a bunch of images. Upload. Close. So it seems to be working. In the next video, we'll clean the code up a little bit.